Welcome, friends, to Tanked Up, the podcast all about video games and craft beer. I'm one of your hosts, Ben, here with Aadil.
Hey.
And Lucy.
Hi.
It's episode 457. Again, still in January. Still a little bit cold and miserable and wet and windy and bleh. But we've got beers. We've got games. We're going to hang out, enjoy our Sunday evenings together. Let's start with beers. Aadil, what are you going to drink this evening?
I'm gonna have a collaboration beer. It is the Rare Drop and Microbus Gateshead. So local to me, it's made by Twice Brewed, but it's the Twice Brewed Calvin and Susie Gateshead on the number 21, 6%. Oh, something's gone wrong, and I can't see myself. Yeah, 6% IPA, Rare Drop, a lot of words. Oh, there we go.
That's a very busy can.
Yeah. And it's got very straightforward flavor text. A deliciously hazy IPA with Galaxy and Sabro hops. Expect big hitting tropical fruit flavors as well as satisfying citrus bite.
Nice.
That'd be nice to ring in the good old 2026 with something just down the road.
Good, nice. Well, I'm coming much closer to both of you this evening, and I am drinking a beer from Atom. This one's collaboration as well, actually, with Munyard. It is Infrared, which is a red IPA. It's only 5%, so it's a little bit smaller. Infrared is electromagnetic radiation with wavelengths shorter than that of the visible light, but shorter than microwaves. Longer than that of visible light, but shorter than microwaves. The infrared spectral band begins with the waves that are just longer than those of red light, so IR is invisible to the human eye. Nice bit of flavour text about the naming convention. Nothing about the beer at all on here. I have no hops, no nothing. So I might just do a very quick Google and see if there's any flavour text about the beer itself. Lucy.
Fun fact about the infrared spectrum is your mobile phone camera will capture IR. And so one way to check to see if your remote controls are actually out of battery or something else is going on is to look to take a go into preview mode and then push the button, and if you see the diode light up, the IR LED diode light up, it means it's actually transmitting. If not, maybe something's gone wrong.
Right, fair.
That is something I will use in the future. I just replaced some batteries today.
Every once in a while, there is an actual useful fact. Now that we've hit the first one, I expect on
we've got to wait another 100 episodes.
We'll hit the second one.
Nice.
I'm actually impressed by my arithmetic anyway. What are you drinking, Lucy?
I'm drinking water. I am in my bed right now. Circumstantial because I spilled water, so I was like, instead of delaying everything and trying to clean it up, I'm just going to move to a different place, and I'm cozy and don't want to drink.
Nice, that's fair.
Yeah, you were talking about it's January, it's cold. Drinking just doesn't fit in with this lifestyle. Come summer, well, I'll
exactly. Yes. I half expect a cup of tea to appear at some point then, just out of the under the bed.
Tea, Ben. I've already had. I'm way ahead of you. You know how you usually have a beer before the podcast? I have a cup of tea.
Nice. Well, I'm managed to sink a bottle of red wine, to be fair, just before the podcast. So I'm sticking with my beer being a red IPA. I'm staying on theme for today.
We're all hydrated.
Yes, absolutely. I will give you a little bit of flavour text about this beer because there is some on Atom's website. A collaborative creation with our friends at Munyards Brewery. Infrared is a bold yet balanced red IPA that brings modern hop punch to a rich malty backbone. Centennial brings classic grapefruit bitterness up front, while a dry hop duo of Idaho 7 and Amarillo layers in bright notes of orange zest pine resin. Underpinning it is a vibrant red malt base with subtle caramel and biscuit tones. There we go. So that's what I'm going to get. And we'll come back round to you, Aadil, for the, on the bus, number 20-something?
On the number 21. Yes. So...
Where does a 21 go? Oh, that was like a great beer.
Yeah,
where's
it's
the
nice and
21
hazy.
bus go?
That's a good question. I don't actually live in Gateshead, so I don't know where Gateshead 21 goes.
I hope it goes straight
Presumably,
to the brewery.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, if I
What's the
was a
offer
better
like?
person, I would have looked up what the microbus Gateshead is.
I didn't know there was public transport up in those areas, to be fair, so
Oh yeah, it just
it might be a magical bus
To
that
be
doesn't
fair,
even exist.
like once
yeah.
every 3 hours or something like that, probably.
If you're lucky.
Oh, I see. Microbus Gateshead is a VW camper themed bar in Gateshead in the railway quarter.
Okay.
And the Rare Drop is Gateshead is home of fine wine, craft beer, and local produce. So I'm guessing you take the number 21 to get from roughly Newcastle to Gateshead. From
Yeah,
Twice Brewed
perhaps.
to the other two. Anyway, yeah, it's hazy. It's a nice yellowy orange. It poured with almost a little bit of head, but you're seeing most of it. It does have a lovely citrus, slightly lemony nose with definitely tropical notes as well. I think more passion fruit than mango though. Really light, but like the kind of nose where you're like, oh yeah, tropical, and a bit of like slightly lemony citrus. This makes me want to drink this. Ooh. This is one of those. This is interesting. So I've been talking a lot about how either recipes have been changing or my palate has changed. That a lot of things taste like they're 4%. This really does, but I mean the 8%. It's usually because they're just a really good melding of that bitterness and the sweetness of the stronger beer. Here it's only 6%, but what I find interesting is the mouthfeel is quite thin and wet feeling.
Yeah.
Which just makes me think, oh yeah, this is like an IPA, one of those IPAs you sort of grab and have 4 of in a night, right? But it's 6%, so it's not quite a 4% as it sort of feels. It's got a lovely biscuity backbone just lingering in the background while the as the flavor text said, it's got tropical, it's got citrus, a bit more orangey citrus than lemon on the actual taste compared to what I said on the nose, but it's just really like I said, it's really nice, super drinkable. The bitterness from the hops really only shows up near the end, and it's kind of just enough to be like, maybe I'll have another sip.
Yeah.
Not really coaxing you to do it, but it's really not a. This is one of those IPAs you could give to someone who's like, I don't know about IPAs. They're all so bitter. Let's see. Yeah, that I definitely know people in the UK who talk like that. That's a good impression, Aadil.
We all sound like that.
Especially up here in the north.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think what really brings it together is now that my palate's gotten a bit used to it, I'm getting a bit more of that citrus and a bit more of the hops coming through, but it's that like again, not in your face, but there's this lovely biscuity note that just holds the whole time and brings it together and just makes it feel nice and refreshing. It fades before the bitterness really kicks in, but it's sort of just there the whole time. Just making the whole sip satisfying. Yes, really good. I'm worried between the I really like those early parts of the taste curve and the fact that the finish isn't too bitter, like the bitterness, the hoppiness sort of fades, and so there are things lingering, but like even the sort of this finishes like a beer moment is also quite it's strongest near in the beginning of the finish, and then it fades quite quickly. And the fact that it has this like thin wet texture, and like in the sense that now that I'm paying attention, it's not actually that, but it just tastes like it's lighter. I have a worry that I'm just going to pound through the 6%, thinking it's like a above session-ish.
Yeah. Well, it sort of is, isn't it? It's very sessionish. Cool. I mean, we're not going to be long this evening, I don't think. So you'll probably finish the beer, but at an appropriate time for the recording. This infrared, it's, I don't know if you can quite see how sort of brown
sludgy.
it is. Sludgy, very, very sludgy.
Yeah,
Nice
it's
white
got a
head.
bit of tomato juice and coffee.
A little.
You know what I
I mean,
Like,
it definitely.
It's got coffee sludge sort of tones, but then it's got that red.
It does. It does definitely have that red to it, but it's very brown, very, very brown. It's got a lovely nose, lovely malty nose, very, very biscuity, with a little hint of sweetness in there as well. But that's like I know they said it's a red IPA, but you could, I mean, just from the color alone, from the smell, you're really getting more like a traditional sort of bitter or something like that. Just because of how malty that is.
Nice.
It's lovely and soft. Okay, so it does taste a lot like a brown ale, more than say like an IPA. And I'm getting a little bit of that. A little bit of that kind of grapefruit bitterness. But it's got a really nice bitter finish to it. So it's very malty, lots of biscuit, a little bit of sweetness going on in there as well. And then that bitterness kind of kicks in, and I think that sweetness is that grapefruit leaning then into that sort of bittering. But actually, it's quite a piney finish to it, which is great. It's lovely.
Yeah.
It's a little bit maybe sticky as well, so it's definitely hitting more on an IPA than it would be, say, on like a brown ale or something like that. So it's that little bit bigger, even if it's 5%. So it's kind of somewhere in the middle, and I don't know whether it's the what did it say, red malts. What did it say about those? It said a vibrant red malt base. So again, it could be I don't know what the mix of red malts might be.
Yeah, right. Thinking, how long did they toast them for? Just like, yeah, because
yeah. And
I'd expect like that kind of like, I don't know, like toffee kind of marmalade kind of sweetness. Maybe that's what you're getting at. But,
there's a little bit of orange in there, definitely. And whether it's we obviously see rye quite a lot when you sort of talk about like a red IPA or something, but a lot of the time they will kind of put that in the naming convention, won't they, when there is rye in there, because we don't use it, we don't see it that often, but perhaps something like that is in here as well.
Yeah, it would be interesting if they put like what the malt bill on the can was. As you said, there's not really. Oh yeah, was it on the website, anything like that?
No, the malts themselves weren't. Malts. Yeah, it gave me. It said it's Centennial, it's Idaho 7, and it's Amarillo. But yeah, just a vibrant red malt base, without telling me what those malts are. And then it doesn't tell me any further. So
okay, yeah. We want the malt bill.
We do. We want everything. Give us everything.
Release that and the Epstein file. We want it all. We want it all.
Both of those things fully weighted.
Yes.
In our demands.
Both of which heavily redacted.
Apparently.
It'd just be red.
Exactly. It was red, something, malt. That'd be it, yeah. Good. Right. Let us drink these and talk about some games. Lucy, not drinking beer this evening, but I know you've got some games to discuss.
I will touch upon beer.
Okay.
I will touch upon beer briefly, because I have fewer alcohol-free beers than I remembered. I think I'm down to just a few more like Wiper and True ones. I think I stacked up on those because I found the nicest alcohol-free beers. Maybe I'll see what's around, see if they've got anything better in 2026. We'll see. But the disgusting Guinness Zero in cans, I am putting to good use, and I'm using them to bake bread. So
nice.
They're not being wasted or poured down the sink, and we found a better use for them.
That's good.
Instead of drinking or baking.
Again, they were
to make it edible.
I seem to remember from memory them being
Mhm.
incredibly sweet as well. A lot sweeter than Guinness is.
It just tasted disgusting. It tasted like vomit water.
Funny because
From the sip that I had like last
Mm.
year, I think potentially on tap, like any Guinness, really, potentially better. But yeah, in a can, it was just no. It was like
or was it
pond water.
a nitro machine can, or was it a simple widget? Maybe you just haven't invested enough Guinness home
There is.
technology to have
I'm
your
not sure if there is
alcohol-free
a.
beer.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there is a widget in the alcohol-free ones. From what I can remember.
I mean,
I'll
that one might
report back
explain a
on
lot,
that.
actually.
Yeah, yeah, I'll report back. I don't remember feeling one. Yeah, I don't think they have a widget. I'll bake some more bread and I'll let you know
Nice.
next week. Yes, games, video games. I
They
have.
do have them, apparently.
They do? Okay.
According to some good clean fun .com/Guinness
Not a place I want to
Death
be.
Review. You know what? I don't know why I'm looking things up on the internet. The internet's not even close to a thing anymore. It's just a bunch of fucking machines making things up based on what they previously made up. What are we doing?
Yeah. I'll report
Sorry.
back. Yeah.
2026. Brand new happy face. Oh.
Yeah. Let's not get started with that because yeah, it's truly depressing. Video games are fun though.
Yes.
Are they? I mean, yes, they are.
If you're very selective with which ones you play, which I think we've all become in recent years, like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think the games that I tend to like year on year, are the ones that are just like I didn't know they existed prior to. It's just like, oh, this is a nice surprise.
Mhm.
But even then, there's still like very little risk. I think we take with a lot of games, not because it's just like, oh, this could be fun. It's just like I think we know what we all enjoy and
Yeah.
like. But a game that I don't think I'd ever heard of. It's called Big Hops. So there's your beer
Nice.
reference,
Nice.
hops.
I think I may have briefly mentioned it because I bumped into it on a Google search in the middle of an episode. Because it
Right.
rings a vague bell, and it rings a vague bell precisely in this type of conversation, but it rings no one knew. Except you, apparently.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only saw it when I saw like I think some reviews or previews came out. I think came out like a week or two ago.
Mhm.
There was still a demo on Steam, or at least there was when I picked it up. It's basically a 3D platformer with a frog. It's a green frog, not quite Croc. The God, that was a terrible video game. They made two of them as well.
Croc, yeah.
Anyway, so I was just thinking green character in 3D platformer. Yeah, the 3D platformer, it's sort of like a little Gator game, or what are some other 3D platformers that have come out recently, or like Super Lucky's Tale or something like that, in that kind of mold, where yeah, like kind of resurrecting, early 2000s 3D platformer, little bit of a collectathon. You've got these like semi-open worlds and you like jump between them. It's kind of like a progression of the story with this little frog getting sucked like into some time warp and trying to get back to his family, etc., etc. It's voice acted and voice acting is pretty good, but the story is just like, okay, how quickly can I tap through all of this to get back to the gameplay, which is where the game shines, because yeah, it feels really good. You've got like different. Well, I think it's all centered around like momentum, which is ironic that it came out like when like AGDQ was on, because this seems like a perfect speed running game.
Nice, yeah.
Where it's just like people are going to just like optimize the speed in it and the find little workarounds just to get through the game as quick as possible. But yeah, it's got a really nice, good sense of momentum, a nice flow state in terms of like the gameplay. Like you're a frog, so you have like a long tongue, so you can swing between like different anchor points and stuff like that. You can wall run. you can do like a little jump and then like a launch, sort of like in a Mario game or something like that, sort of like Odyssey, I guess. And yeah, it's got really nice sets of movement, and it just feels good.
Mm.
Um, yeah, really bright, really colourful. Uh, I can't recommend people pick it up until maybe a few more bugs are squashed, though,
Okay.
because I got into a hard lock in the game. I just died, like, as you do, like falling off. It's not a punishing game. It's not like Super Meat Boy or something like that. Really punishing. It's like, okay, if you fall into an abyss a few times, you just come back automatically. There's no like live system where you have to connect to lives and you go back to the start of the level. None of that. It's just like, here you go, whatever.
Mm.
But yeah, I died and then it like reset me in like between two gates, and there was no way to progress. And then I had the whole faff of then, well, I was playing on Steam Deck, and then it's like, okay, let me sync my cloud save up with my computer because that's easier to work on than Steam Deck,
Mm.
using the little keyboard that you have on the Steam Deck, which is which is not
Yeah.
ideal.
Yeah.
And then I had to load it onto my computer, go into the save folders. Well, yeah. Just the game had certain save states that the developers had, and it was like, okay, I'll move that into the save folder. And then I had to resync it up, and it's like, oh, okay, I have none of the things that I unlocked or anything like that. Which is okay because I was near the end of the game and it was already getting too easy. So it was like, okay, there's going to be a bit more challenge now. I could have gone into the debug menu because I was like, oh, I went into the debug menu because that's what it is on this uh, dev save state. I was like, should I just give myself all the items? And I was like, no, instead of doing that, I'll just pick up from where that save state was, with not as many as you have these things called trinkets, which give you like
Mm.
more hearts or more stamina to climb up walls, sort of like Zelda Breath of the Wild style. And I was like, no, I'll just leave it as is, and I was able to carry on for the rest of the game, which is probably like an extra hour and a half after that, no problem. But if you don't know how to do that, I mean, it sucks anyway. Like, it's like, okay, a game breaking bug shouldn't be in your video game
Mm-hmm.
anyway, but
Mm-hmm.
shit happens, okay, whatever. But it's like, you have no way of working around that. I was, 10 hours in probably at that point, and
Right.
it's like, if that work, if you're not good with computers or anything like that, yeah, you may not have been able to progress, which would have sucked. So yeah, that did leave a bit of a sour taste in my mouth, but overall not enough to make me have like a overall negative view on the game. Because yeah, one of the things that I should have mentioned actually that is really creative about it is that you throughout these worlds you pick up like these, are they fruit? I guess they're fruit. You can eat them and gain extra hearts and stuff, but they have like these different, they give you these extra movement abilities. So say if you take like an acorn and throw it, it will sprout like a vine from the ground and you can climb up
Hmm.
that. Or these other fruit where you can have where it's like it basically shoots out this line, this slack line that you can just walk across. And you can bring these fruits, like like there's ones that you can jump off of, or that give you like these bubbles, or give you this like anti-gravity like kind of field. So there's all these different kinds of fruits, and you can like put them in your backpack and use them in levels where it's like, oh, this may not have been the dev's intended way of doing this, but I can
Hmm.
then use them. Like, it's sort of like a bit of a sandbox in that way, where you can use them to solve like platforming challenges that maybe are a bit too hard, or you just want to do it in a different way, or you're just like, oh, can I do this? Can I put a slack line in between those points instead of like doing it in the dev's intended way of like using using this fruit that would make me be able to have to swing in between different anchor points or something like that, and it's really creative in that way. So I think that's probably its biggest USP. Just like that kind of freedom to choose how to progress through levels in your own way, using the tools that it's giving you. It's just like, yeah, break the game if you want to. I literally did, not doing anything like that, but by just dying. But but yeah, it gives you that kind of sense of freedom, so that's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
A few of the reviews on Steam,
Mhm.
basically the negative ones, are essentially just about bugs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most of them are sort of saying, the game, the movement, a lot of the stuff is really good, but
Mhm.
one review says they were sort of locked out twice. Some said they've
Yeah.
fallen through the world several times. So yeah, it's not a huge amount of negative reviews on it, but you've got to
Mhm.
imagine if we're
Mhm.
getting some, then more people are experiencing that as well. So whilst it doesn't
Yeah.
seem to be kind of
And
across the board, it is prevalent enough.
yeah, and in the community hub is how I found like the workaround. The devil's like,
Mm.
if you do get stuck, and this is, I think it was the day after I got hard locked, they were like they added an option, they did an update, and it was an option where you can like reset your checkpoint.
Hmm.
Because there was no way of doing that. There was no way to make it your own save point or reset a checkpoint. So they added that, but I tried resetting the checkpoint, still didn't work. So it's just like, so yeah. As I say, once those are like ironed out, it's a definite recommend. But
Yeah.
I'd give them a few more weeks to iron out those kinks because yeah, just playing it, like, when you can feel like a bit of a buggy game and you're just like, happy when, the loading screen goes and it's like, okay, we're back in. It didn't crash, or okay, my little frog didn't fall through the world. He just ragdolled slightly. It was a type of game where it's when I got stuck, I was like, can I just clip through these two gates in between? Because I thought that might be a possibility. And when you think of that, it's like, yeah, okay, the game's a little bit janky if you're thinking of let me clip through like the geometry here. So
Yeah.
so yeah, it's a bit rough around the edges, but overall it works really well. Yeah, really creative, really colourful, a lot of charm, like some good production things with like the voice acting, and yeah, just the whole suite of like sandbox tools and stuff like that. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. Good. Have you
Mhm.
managed to fit anything else in over the last couple of days?
Yeah, I started the Drifter, which
Oh yeah.
Wow.
is
I
a
Come on.
no.
It's
I
just
want to
like
hear
a
what you were
game
going to
I
say.
was like literally like
Mhm.
half an hour before the podcast started. I was like hovering over, should I buy another game? I have so many games I haven't played. This new
Yeah,
game seems pretty cool. It's like art style, vibe,
absolutely. Yeah, it's like
genre
a
was like
graphic
so.
novel
Yeah, I'm gonna
put in
stop talking
motion.
because now I want to
Hmm.
hear what your opinion is.
Yeah, and I won't spoil too much. It's very well. It's a point and click adventure game, but yeah, it's like a kind of graphic novel. Like the pixel art is just out of this world. Um, like really, like kind of good pace to it, good like moody atmosphere. It's got great voice acting. Set in Australia, and it's like don't tend to hear like Australian voice actors much. There are some like weird like I don't know like 1940s American accents in there just randomly, like noir kind of like VA, but it's just like okay. But yeah, the Australian voice acting's like really good. I think those like weird American accents stand out even more because
Mm.
the other voice acting is just really good. But yeah, it's I would say it's your typical point and click adventure game where it's like okay, you've got an inventory and you're solving puzzles, you're combining items, but it's a very like modern take on it. You're not going to get anything too obtuse or abstract in the puzzles. And I've been playing it on Steam Deck,
Mhm.
and there's a really good user interface to it. As you move around the world, this kind of like dynamic radial menu underneath your character appears, showing you what in your vicinity is interactive, and what's just like to look at. There's no like Scum kind of like, see this, like
Mhm.
look at this, speak to this, and all those different options. So it just makes playing on a controller or Steam Deck in this case like really seamless. Um, but yeah, the story's going places. I think I'm on chapter 7. I don't know how out of how many, but I've probably been playing like 6 hours of it across like 3 nights so far.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's I don't know where the story's going, how it's going to land, but up till now I've just really enjoyed like the atmosphere and the voice acting more than anything. So the general plot, I think the general plot is still interesting. It has a lot of like social commentary as well. But regardless of where it lands and how good the I don't know the end reveal is or this and that, I think that's at this point immaterial. I just think everything else surrounding it, like the package, is just really good.
Nice.
It's one of the better point and click adventures I've played in several years, probably
Mm.
for the last
Nice.
5 years or so. So yeah, it's really good. I do really recommend it. I think it's one of those where it's just like once you start playing, um, just the atmosphere alone will probably draw you in to continue. And there's nothing that gives you that much friction in the puzzles. There's a lot of context clues and like it's not one of those point and click adventures where it's like okay, maybe you didn't have enough budget where it's like okay, I don't know where to go or what to do. The character's not giving me any information because it's like there's only so much dialogue and writing in them. Whereas this
Mm.
is like, oh, if you try and use a certain item on a certain thing or speak to a certain character with it, there's the voice acting and the writing that'll be like, oh no, I don't think I'm going to use that here. Maybe I should try this here, or I, you know, that's not going to work here. I need to, just giving you gentle nudges towards it, which is yeah, not a lot of point and click adventures games don't have that because
Mm.
of budget and
Yeah.
writing and stuff like
Mm.
that. But this is like a dark, gritty LucasArts game. I think that's the highest praise that I can like give it.
I was gonna
Um,
say, I think the dark,
mhm.
like the from what I saw from trailers and a couple of reviews, just like it doesn't feel like it's pulling punches on the humanity and like violence side in a way that these types of games usually do.
There are some like shocking visually kind of moments to it, but it never feels like gratuitous or
Yeah,
unneeded.
yeah. By
Yeah, yeah,
violence, I mean like I said, humanity and violence, not just
mhm.
humanity and violence. Like it just
Yeah,
feels like they're trying to tell a story where for adults, if that makes sense. That's sort of what
yeah,
the
sure,
thing
yeah,
that kept pulling me back to
mhm.
like I think I might buy this game was that it was like, oh, this seems like an interesting narrative, right? Where the narrative
Yeah.
is like the thrust and it happens to be a video game rather than um it's a pretty good story for a video game.
Yeah, and where I am now, again without spoilers, I think it's gone into like some kind of tropey things.
Okay.
Um, Probably not. I mean, yeah, it's not a really mature like kind of storytelling game, but I think it handles it well enough, and it is one of the. It's probably more like pulpy than actually having like some really good social commentary, like I don't know Kentucky Route Zero or something like that. This is way more pulpy and kind of gritty, but
Yeah.
it's not. It's still not like that kind of overall cheese kind of to it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
pulpy is sort of I think the
Mhm.
word I was looking for when I was trying to be like
Yeah.
adult or something, right? Like it's not adult as in cerebral, but like grown
Mm.
up.
It's like
And yeah, I think that's why I sort of said adult and violence because
it's
it
like
goes back.
Yeah.
To adult.
Yeah.
Grindhouse,
Yeah,
isn't it?
totally.
It's
Yeah.
like that
Yeah.
that sort of genre of stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. It's good. I recommend it.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm clicking the
Good,
buttons
good.
now.
Do you think it sort of point and click is such an like interesting sort of genre of games because
Hmm.
they've been relatively similar forever. right? And some games have come
That's
along
what's
and,
good about them, Ben.
well, some games have come along and been quite innovative in some sense. Something like Broken Age, right? Innovative in terms of its visual aesthetic and the way that kind of those sort of things work, but maybe didn't push the point and click kind of aspects, that core sort of gameplay, a huge amount. Okay, playing as two characters and those sort of little bits, and how the story kind of intertwines does push that a little bit. But point and click has sort of been pretty stable in sort of some senses. And I know a lot of people talk about like Thimbleweed Park as being kind of then another kind of step, or at least a sort of a kind of critically and I think sort of commercially kind of very well received sort of, and probably one people know more than any other of the sort of more recent kind of point and click games. And I've heard seen sort of chat about the Drifter kind of being a little bit on the this pushes point and click games that sort of a little bit more.
Radial menu. Yeah, I think it's the user interface. Because like Thimbleweed Park, that uses like scum kind of like verb selections. Like, I mean, you could say that something like what's it called, Case of the Golden Idol and stuff like that. Those are essentially point and click adventure games, just in a kind of different package. But yeah, I agree with you. Like point and click games, that there's not been really much innovation. Not as a bad thing, but it's like there's it's a formula and it works, and it's little subtle things that push the genre. It's only when it fell off a cliff when they were like, let's make 3D ones, and it's like maybe we shouldn't. But that was when 3D was bad. Like something like, I don't know, Telltale's A Walking Dead point and click adventure game in everything but name. But 3D sometimes worked when it wasn't a buggy mess. But yeah, I think the true like 2D pixel art, especially in this game, the art is fantastic. It's probably some of the best pixel art I've seen.
I think news games are the 3D spiritual successor to point and clicks, just because I think point and clicks are so, like, the fact that you are in a two-dimensional space is so integral to it, which is why 3D attempts have to do weird shit, right? Because as soon as you have the third dimension, there's travel, right? Like, you cannot, like, you can observe the whole scene. I mean, that's why the Golden Idol games, I think you're completely right. They are like point and clicks with a note-taking, puzzle-solving, like veering towards that on the axis of narrative and exploration, right? But in order to have depth, you just need to be able to move, and I think news games are that, and especially the early ones. If you think about the first news games to really do a thing, they were essentially like a visual novel that you did in the order you bumped into, right?
Yeah,
I think, the
there's
point
so
and
many
click
different
visual novel
offshoots.
relation is quite close in for that, like, railroaded narrative. And the news games, like, as soon as you get that third dimension, you that temporal aspect of, well, I know what you're going to do next because I'm only going to give you these two choices or whatever, right? Like, it just stops being there. So the narratives have to be like much more amorphous, and then you end up with having to have a narrative that makes sense when they bump into bits in different orders, because you just can't do that unless it's like just 3D cutscenes. But I think that's just a visual novel with
like FMV or
animators
like
instead
Mist
of
or something. Yeah, like there's so many different offshoots, and it's like, what is genres at this? What are video game genres? Unless you play video games, you'd be like, what the hell is a point and click game? Isn't that every game? Isn't that Call of Duty? You point and click and a gun shoots. So it's just like, but when I'm talking about good old meat and potatoes point and click, I mean, like, give me them stupid obtuse puzzles and 2D pixel art and verbs.
You should just know that this fucking thing combines with a rat.
Yes. You don't know why, and it doesn't make sense. But yes, this screwdriver and a rat, it makes something. That is very useful,
Kebab.
Yes, the skewered rat. Nice kebab. Yeah.
Nice. It's just having a quick look. It's a game from sort of summer of last year. Is it one that
Mhm.
you've kind of had since then, Lucy, or have you picked it up
No, I
recently?
picked it up recently because yeah, I was like, I really like the look of this. I want to get it, and I was like, it was one of those that was just like, okay, I'm not gonna get it until I played more games, and then I didn't, and then I was like, oh, it's on sale now.
I was gonna
Like,
say.
I still haven't played a lot of games, but I'm going to get this one.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah, really glad I picked it up. And I'm just thinking, what did I wait so long for?
Mm.
It's one of those.
Yeah. Nice.
We get around to them eventually.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have 10 new games during the Christmas and January sale. I mean, part of that is
Mhm.
what happens when you are uh, alone for Christmas and then sick.
Yeah, cabin
It turns
fever.
out what happens is you buy games but don't feel up to playing them because you're out of the fucking gaming habit already, and this seems like a lot of work. Um, but I actually do have a renewed faith uh, in my actual want and ability to play games this year. And part of that is because I've got a light term, and then I've got the summer, and I've got scholarship leave on the first term, the fall term. And obviously, this is supposed to be work related, but really, I'm choosing to take 2026 as a there's some shit you've like not worked on, and like, or like, what do you fucking want to do? I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I'm 42. I
Yeah,
have a career. It's
I'm
not my
running out of
first.
time to figure that out. Yeah.
Right, but like I know that I don't let myself do things I want to do,
Hmm.
and don't really let myself rest, but I do obviously need rest, so then I just like lose a lot of time to YouTube and stuff. And actually that
Mm.
got worse last year because of my medication, so I'm currently unmedicated. A thing that was very obvious to my students on Friday, um, because I was a bit more just following my head. I'm like, oh right, you have to keep yourself on track, my dude.
Mm. Yeah, it's like,
But
sir, why are you talking about the Bulgarian tree frogs?
no, it was just like I mentioned Karl Marx within the first 45 seconds of my advanced logic module.
At least it's
Because the
sort of
world's shit and we should care about fucking socialism.
in
Um,
your lane, and you're not just talking about something completely
no.
random.
Yeah, but
Mm.
why was I saying this? Oh yeah. So the turns out the medications I was on made sure that I things that so the problem was the one med meant that once I like focused on a thing, I would stay with it. The other one meant that a lot of things were giving me enough dopamine that they normally wouldn't. Basically, I stopped being able to get bored with shit.
Mm.
It turns out being bored with dopamine sinks is how I never really got that attached to my smartphone. How I never really started watching YouTube for ages and ages. Like I don't finish shit, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't finish games. I don't finish TV shows. Once I let go of the completionist side, and the reason is because at some point I'm like, I'm okay. I
I'm
want something
exactly
new.
that way. Yeah, I'm
And
like, I can easily not. I can watch an entire run of a TV show and then not watch the last episode, and people
yeah,
are like, "Are you insane?" It's just like, oh, I don't really
yeah.
care, you know.
I mean, the problem is because of the ADHD and the like hyper
And I don't
focus.
even have
Uh,
ADHD, so
but
God
like
knows how you cope. Yeah.
when things are like good and then they don't have a second season yet, I'm frustrated. Right? I want more. But if what the more is isn't as good as before, I no longer want it. Right? And so
Yeah, I felt that way about Severance season 2. Yeah,
I stopped
really bad.
watching Ted Lasso mid
I mean,
season, like second episode of season 3, I think. It was
there's
after the
only been 3
Christmas
seasons.
one where like
When they're
the
in Belgium or something like that.
yeah, like the boss, she like gets drunk and that she's like
Oh,
being nice at
in like
Christmas,
the
and I was like,
Netherlands or
I
something.
get why you did this because it's a
Mm.
Christmas episode, but like they're now friends, and all the other moves, like almost all their other relationships that had like some sort of antagonism or sharpness to characters had all been kind of sort of rounded off. And I get it's a feel-good show, but I
Yeah,
liked that.
I
Like,
don't think we can like have any complaints about that's so
yeah,
going
but I'm
in
saying,
there.
but then I just sort of never wandered back. Right, I guess is the
That's
thing I'm trying
fair.
to say.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Having
that's
said
fair.
all that, this means I'm trying to listen to myself, and so after this, I plan on intentionally playing a game.
Nice.
What the game
You
is?
have
Probably
to.
the
You have
Drifter, because I
to.
just paid money for it.
I think it. I think yeah. I've been like that as well. I'm just like, just do an hour. If you don't
Mhm.
like it, you bounce off it. Fine. You know, play it again
Mhm.
at another time when you have that bandwidth. But right now, it's just like, okay, you know, that's why I played Big Hops. Like, I need to go back to Keep Driving, but again, there's every chance that I may not, because I got a nice fill out of that, and it's just like I can. You just have to be okay with just getting your fill, whether that's like, you know, play it halfway, don't see the ending, or like you just don't vibe with it the first time you play it. There's so
Yeah,
many
yeah.
games that I've played where it's like I didn't vibe with it the first time, like Guacamelee, the first game.
Mm,
I played that on
Oh,
like Vita, and I
oh,
just didn't vibe with it at
oh!
yeah.
I
all.
don't think it'd be that great on the Vita. I bet it was like
Yeah, it was.
not very
I
fluid
did
as
not
well.
enjoy it
Yeah, yeah.
because that. But I played it on Xbox on a TV, I was like, this is one of the prettiest games I've ever seen. And plus, Xbox controllers just better anyway than little Vita
That
thing.
fucking yeah, the Vita. All
Yeah,
kinds of reasons why I think that would work. Even though I think the
yeah.
Vita had a good screen,
Oh
it's
yeah,
just
I love the Vita, but I was just
oh,
like, this deserves to be played on the big screen because it's beautiful. And yeah, I just really loved it after playing it on Xbox. So, there's so many examples like that, and it's just like, yeah, come back to it when you want to. And it's just
Mm,
like,
mm.
I'm not. I've just accepted that some games I'll just have to start over and just be okay with that. Like, because, I'm not going to remember the mechanics or the
No,
story or stuff like that,
absolutely,
too.
absolutely. I've just
Mhm.
picked up the Frostpunk 2
Oh,
DLC. Let me find it. Let me find it.
I forgot
Die Harder.
Frostpunk had it too.
Frostpunk 2
Freeze Harder.
Fractured Utopias. It's called, and
Oh, that sounds uplifting at
it's
least.
getting into choosing.
Isn't that an oxymoron? Can a utopia
No,
be
yes, potentially,
Mm.
potentially.
Wait,
But it's
what was it?
about sort of
What?
picking one of the factions and kind of, I really enjoyed with Frostpunk 2 that kind of council sort of, element to it where you're
Right.
trying to basically make everyone happy, or not trying to necessarily make everyone
Mm.
happy, but trying to balance them out so factions don't grow too big or demand too much and then revolt and all of these kinds of things, pull your city down. Fractured Utopias allows you to kind of lean into one of those factions a little bit more, so you're already catering a little bit to that. And I think I picked it up because it's really interesting, because I think the council mechanic and trying to balance those was such a key element of Frostpunk 2 for me. Really interested to see what kind of removing that a little bit does to the game,
Right.
and whether it's like, oh no, you're just playing as the like militia kind of faction now. You're just playing as the technology obsessed kind of faction now. So actually, everything you're doing is more sandboxy and allowing you to just push that side of things rather than the element of trying to balance whilst balancing everything else and building out your city and just trying to survive ultimately and explore the wilderness. So I want to know what that feels like to just remove that kind of main element, or if it doesn't necessarily remove it, but just kind of balances it in a different kind of way. So it's exactly the same like Lucy. I'll click back into Frostpunk 2 and go, the fuck am I doing? What, like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I remember. I need to do this thing and do this thing. Okay, cool. Now what do I do? Right, who knows? Who knows? And just
Yeah.
like rediscover it again
Mhm.
with this new sort of element to it. So yeah, I think it's January, isn't it? We're moving into the spring. It's time for rebirth and rediscovering things potentially until the next
It's
new game comes
knowing
out.
it's knowing your limitations.
Mm,
Right?
mm.
This is hibernation time. This is slow. This is You know, there's no need to just play a nice cozy game.
Exactly.
Do what you can.
But I think that's
Listen
it, isn't
to
it?
your body.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's exactly right. It's kind of, you think,
Don't force it.
I've just been playing a little bit of Battlefield over the last week. Not really much else, and it's just like, oh, I just want like 20 minutes, just 20 minutes, shoot some
I do
people.
miss the night the like late night / play a match of Battlefield when way back when. Oh God, when Evelyn was barely a human being.
Yeah. I know.
I've just realized how long ago that was. I guess
Different lifetime.
9 years.
I mean, I don't know if you guys have had this on your social media, the like
2016 me.
the 2016 thing, yeah. And I saw someone post a very
I haven't seen this.
I had a 2016. Yeah, so everyone's posting their 10 years ago things.
Yeah,
Right?
and it annoys me because then I see people who are like in nappies, and it's just like, it means you're a child. Get off my timeline. Go away. I was, I don't know, hunched over with a walking stick 10 years ago, and you were just out the womb. So I don't really care.
I was moving back to Bristol because my engagement failed, and I was no longer needing to live in
Why are we looking back?
That was 10 years ago.
Fucking hell.
Holy shit! Right, like I actually had oh God, it's been a minute.
Yeah, already adulting.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't really changed since then, except I finished my PhD and got a job.
That may be a problem.
Yeah,
haven't evolved.
Why I brought this up was because I saw someone post like I had a 2016 post and then I took it down because I wish I had to post up, but basically I took it down because I realized that given that this is like a thing that just appeared on all the social media networks, which are all just using social media to train AI, this is probably to train AI on image recognition and aging and
absolutely.
Identification. So I don't want it anymore. I'm like, that's not even paranoid.
The AI won't be able to tell who anyone is because we're all going to get fillers and Botox.
Well, so I actually think that's not the case because Meta definitely has already trained all its facial rec on pictures of you tagged as you.
Yeah.
Since Facebook started. So I don't actually think that's I don't think this person's concern is there because I don't think they're thinking like tech oligarch enough. Like, you think they needed this now?
And it just annoys me because you see this trend every now and then. It's like,
but the problem is,
whatever, man. Who cares what happened 10 years ago? Trump got in for the first time. It was a terrible time. Like, just why are you looking back? Yeah. I mean, I know everything's terrible, but there's like really no need to be like it just pisses me off. These or like the Throwback Thursday. It's like,
when was Brexit? Was that 2016?
It was.
Yeah, that's when the world
won. A bad year.
Yeah, so I'm just like, why is everyone like eulogizing? Well, not you, but just like, like 2016. It's like,
I mean, the thing is, I've got quite a few.
I've got the people who were doing it were in nappies, so they didn't know. That's why.
I've got quite a few friends who are American on my feeds, and it's actually just kind of demoralizing to because they got Trump.
Here's me outside of a burning building in New York.
No, but this is the beginning of Trump before it got all of it is better. It's just better, and so their posts are like, yeah, things are kind of tough at the time or whatever. But I remember thinking this is the worst things could get, and I kind of wish I had that feeling now. But if I could only tell myself then, this was the last good year. There's people who are remember the beginning of 2016. I think that might have been the last time I was truly happy.
You see, those people need to flip it, where it's like we're closer to nuclear fallout, and that's better. They should flip it that way. Just think forward, we've never been closer to the doomsday clock. So that's better. That's better in my mind than thinking what happened in 2016. We were still 11 years maybe from the world ending. now we're maybe only a year away.
Well, I mean, we're only
Almost
one
none.
tweet away, aren't we? To be fair.
A thought about Greenland.
Yes.
Yeah.
0 thoughts about Greenland in 20. Now it
What
turns out it might be the place that ends the world.
It's a good place.
Wasn't there? Where were the penguins he tariffed? They weren't in Greenland.
No,
the penguins are
southern
mostly
hemisphere,
in
aren't
the
they?
south.
South, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, is it something he's got against the penguins? But no, there's no penguins in Greenland as well.
No, he just wants to both get resources, own shit, and make Putin happy. I realize I said both and said 3 things, but you know what? We're talking about Trump. That's
sure.
not logic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Here.
It's all about
It's
shipping
really
lanes, isn't it?
something.
Ultimately, and the
Let's
Arctic
deploy the
ice
penguins.
melting and lots of new shipping lanes becoming available.
Let's strap weaponry to penguins.
Send them north.
Oh, I mean, it worked in
Go,
Batman
penguins.
Returns.
Where did the penguin get those penguins? Wasn't it the zoo?
The zoo, yeah.
It was the zoo, yeah.
So the zoo was condemned, and they basically raised him? Question mark? Question mark? Right?
I love that.
His
There's an
parents throw him
actual.
away in a reed basket that weirdly is definitely supposed to cinematically like evoke Moses.
Thank you for bringing up Batman Returns. That's perfect.
Yeah, right.
That's
And then he's just found, like he just floats in the like flooded river of Gotham to the abandoned zoo, which is mostly just penguins. But I guess at some point, people who used to work there show up because he does have human workers who clearly are dressed up as like, and are very acrobatic, right? As circus people,
like ninjas.
But the premise is, I think, that he's found at the zoo by the penguins.
And he's raised
and because
by
he
the
has his
penguins.
flippers, I guess they're like, yep.
He assimilated.
He is one of us.
I haven't watched those films in ages.
No,
I need to go back. This has given me renewed.
I absolutely love the absurd, like grim, dark nature of Tim Burton's Batman universe.
Those are fun
like
films.
80/90 is actually weirdly grounded, especially you go back to it. You're like, oh, they were trying to do a thing, even though a giant flying bat plane is shot down by the Joker, who had just come out of
with a revolver, which has got like a 6-foot barrel on it.
The world's longest revolver. Like the build up to that nonsense is super grounded, and then it's like, what the fuck happened? You're like, I don't know. Why don't we just hire Prince and have
pulls it out of his jacket, just keeps going.
It's so good. But I respect a movie that holds back its batshitness, pun intended. And then Returns is like, now let's just start with that.
Yeah.
Then see where we can go. Because it starts with Michelle Pfeiffer, right? Like Selena Kyle.
So cool.
Just gets fucking killed by
eating a cat. Face gets eaten by cats after falling out of a building.
And it's super gross. Like they don't show a lot, but they show enough. It's like, oh no, she was like,
she's screaming,
eaten by cats and somehow became cat goddess? Question mark?
They probably just sprayed on her, which you'd also scream at.
In modern superhero movies, what's great about that is we do have question marks, and they don't fucking feel like they need to explain it to us. Like I still to this day have no idea, and I barely have a theory on what Selena Kyle's deal is in Batman Returns, and I've seen that movie a shit ton.
Just wear Lycra. That is her
also
only
gets shot a bunch, and she counts her lives. Like, is
she
semi-immortal? Who cares? She's Catwoman. It doesn't matter. You don't have to fucking. She also, although it does show us how she made her suit, so it is kind of like how Indy got his hat in Indy 4, and fucking how Han Solo got his name in Star Wars. Who the fuck cares? I hate that series now, and I haven't watched one in years.
Yeah, those films got unnecessary flack, and I really want to go back and watch them.
I'm gonna watch Batman Returns. Maybe I'll do this standard thing that humans do these days. Wow, I sound like a real person. I will play a game on the Steam Deck while watching Batman Returns on my TV and pretend like I'm doing both well.
You definitely could. You definitely could. Yeah.
Where can I watch them? I don't have them on DVD.
I don't know where they would be. Where can you watch it?
Probably
We'll find out.
Disney Plus for some reason or something like that. Who knows
As
at
we
this
are
point?
finding out where you can watch it, it's a good place for us to finish this week. So we'll return around to beers as I'm searching frantically for where you can watch it. Aadil, the Twice Brewed. How was
It
it?
was good.
Good.
It was good. I would say I got a little more depth to not just sort of generic biscuity. I got a little more depth out of the malts by the end. But overall, I think my like I rambled for a couple of minutes. I think it stayed sort of what my impression was near the end, which was like a little more than just lemony, citrus, tropical notes, easy to drink. That maltiness sticks around just enough to give it some really like some depth, so it's not just thin beer, but actually that like feeling of thinness just made it extremely drinkable. Like I would easily have a second, probably a third of these at a pub. Like it just does. It's just not. It's an IPA. It does that stuff well. I'm not. There's no bizarre adjuncts or anything, but it's doing the thing and it's doing it well, and it's doing it in a way that kind of makes you forget it's 6%, not 4.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I don't know why we were even researching where you can watch Batman. I just watch it on a dodgy site.
Yeah.
I was gonna say. I mean,
yeah.
I think you can rent it on Prime Video.
Yeah, you can rent it on
why
Prime.
would I do that? Why would I do that?
Yeah.
That's all I've found so far.
I think it doesn't matter. I have means.
You know what,
I know
Lucy?
places.
It sure doesn't. Do we care about the fucking tech giants who own and abuse these copyrights
Absolutely
getting
not.
anything?
Nah, fuck them all.
And Michael Keaton, I'm sure, is doing fine. So
Yeah.
no worries. I don't know how much kickback and royalties he gets from.
Like,
Batman
if
Returns.
it's even a penny from every rented version of it, you'll get like suddenly get like a check or a bank deposit through for like 49p every 3 months or something.
Like, yeah. What's a Batman?
I'm a vulture now, mate. What's a Batman?
Yeah.
I got different fucking wings these days.
He's also Birdman.
He is also Birdman, yes. That's a fucking fantastic film. That's a great film. My beer, the infrared. It was nice. It dulled quite quickly. The lovely piney bitter finish that just started to disappear, and it did pull away a little bit from being that kind of, as I said at the start, that nice kind of IPA, that little bit more subtle, the grapefruit kind of blending into that sort of bitterness and that pininess, and it did just dull a bit. And towards the end, you're getting that little bit of grapefruit. You're getting a little bit of the sort of the orange kind of peel, orange zest, that slight sweetness, but a lot of malty base, a lot of biscuit, a little sweetness, maybe a little caramel, something like that. But it just, it kind of just disappeared. My palate became very, very used to it very, very quickly. So it wasn't even sort of halfway through the can. It was quite quick that all of that disappeared. And a lovely beer, but one that just doesn't have the legs to it to sort of stay as solid as it was as a first taste sort of throughout. But yeah, I'd drink it again. I think just to get that initial kind of spot. One, I'm like, cool, let's share it with someone. So I'm only drinking half a can, and I'll get that experience for the entire kind of glass that I'm having it. So yes. Cool. Then that is us. That's the beers. That's the games for this week. If you want to chat to us, hit one of us up and we will invite you to the Discord. I'm Nova47 on Blue Sky. Aadil is
at the Omniarch.
And Lucy is
Juicy Loose 9.
And you can get all of us and a few more people at outoflives.net, which you can get on YouTube, on the internet, and a variety of different places. Go to those places, watch us, look at our faces, look at the beers, listen to us on your podcast service of choice, however you imbibe our sounds and visuals and things, let us know. Come and chat
Content,
to us.
Ben,
The
it's
content.
calling 2026 content.
Content. Like, subscribe, press the button. I think all of that's all dead, right? No one's fucking bigging up the like subscribe buttons these days and that sort of shit.
I think that probably people gotta survive.
So
man.
it turns out that from what I've read on psychology, everyone expects it and dismisses it, but also it does work as a reminder. So like it still works. It's just like big
I
words.
definitely watch things and they're like, like especially live things where they're like, we've only got 200 likes. It's like, yeah, I'll give them a like.
Yeah, but it's a bit more subtle these days, right? People are just sort of blending it into their sort of chat a little
part of
bit,
that
and
is the algorithm went to mid 2025. Because people like look into these things, and because I do
Yeah.
vague stuff in the area, it became much more about comments. Liking and
right.
subscribing
Yeah.
stopped being enough for it to be pushed into other people's
Got it.
feeds, which is the whole
Engage.
point, right? It isn't actually, and also in 2025 they stopped showing you your own subscriptions. So subscribing doesn't matter because they don't use it as a way to push you. Your subscriber numbers stopped being a thing that meant that they would send you to other people, and they wouldn't even send you to your own people. Subscriptions stopped being a thing as much. Then they realized that a lot of people were like, okay, just like somewhere in the video they'd be like, just tell us in the comments, blah blah blah, because more comments meant that it would be good for the algorithm. And then
Engagement.
in late
Yeah.
2025, they stopped allowing, like, they stopped prioritizing things with a shit ton of comments. And we're at a point now where I believe we're in a bit of a flux where people aren't quite like, no one quite knows what the current regime of the algorithm is, and so don't know the best call to actions. The call to action of like and subscribe stopped being a thing last year because it stopped being useful to call for, and then it became, I'll ask you a question, just say something in the bottom, blah blah blah. In the same way that, like, in 2024, they started monitoring whether a video was muted, and then stopped counting it as a true elevatable piece of information. So, like,
That's
your generic
crazy.
view count stopped mattering, and they had to be things like, were they watching? And so,
It's
as we know with
insane.
things like
But you could just,
Instagram,
but you
kind
could
of
just be easily be
notice.
watching. I don't know, a, a collage of
Sure.
nature pictures, and they've put, like, I don't know, rock music underneath. And it's
Yeah.
like, I don't want this. I just want to see calming pictures
Correct.
of
Yeah.
bats.
It's all
And you
flawed, right? They're all bad proxies for attention, but it's
weird.
essentially, what does the platform think is the best proxy for attention that they are rewarding me as a content creator for? I will try and nudge my users to do that thing, but none of it is actually said out loud, and so it's a lot of backfilling, and so there's like huge lags of, like, this is why suddenly everyone in this time period is saying this type of thing, because someone figured it out, and that information has slowly gone there, and
I
then
think
Google's response is, now YouTube doesn't track that well.
Yeah.
I think it's how salacious and divisive can you be,
Also,
and and how
what
crazy can your thumbnail be,
right,
and then that's it.
but the thing is, they don't have the technology to be like, that thumbnail is salacious, right? They have the technology for, that thumbnail has gotten a lot of clicks.
Yeah.
And so
What is it
the
called?
metrics that they can use is what made it so that thumbnails, like, it turns out, when they were going on click-through rates, people realized that certain psychological cues on thumbnails were enough to get them higher up on the algorithm.
Yeah.
Having someone's
Like,
face going, "Oh."
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
but Google just cares
A/B
about
testing.
the
You see that on
funneling people
YouTube.
to the videos that they can play the most ads for. And so, like, for a long time, longer videos were better because they played more ads.
Yep.
And then they changed the way that they did payouts and elevation, because people stopped wanting to watch that long of a video, so then the balance got fucked. It was better to release 5 half-assed short videos than 1 1-hour-long video, even though 1-hour-long video would have 5 times as much ads. Or
Sure.
Anyway, you were trying to get us out there, and I just started doing the thing.
That's all right. Lucy, final point, Lucy.
How fast can you watch like a YouTube video if you're not part of the upper class, like me, and have YouTube Premium?
I mean, you can watch them.
Can you do like 2 speeds still? You
Yeah.
can. Oh, okay, just wondered. Yeah.
So the real key
I've had YouTube
is...
Premium for too long. I'm no longer in your circles. I'm with the upper crust.
Let me see.
Hang around a Ahoy for
it's 2 times.
Oh yeah.
Okay, but can you do like any speed up to that? Can you do like 1.6?
It goes by 0.25 increments.
Oh, well, I can do it
so
by
0.5, 0.75, 1.1, 1.25, 1.5,
Okay. Gosh.
Good. Well, if anyone wants to speed run our episodes over on YouTube, you can if you really want to, and you'll hear us.
But not at 1.8 speed.
As far as Google and our analytics, it's quite possible that they will discount fast speeds. We don't know.
Good. Right. Have a lovely evening, week, and we will see you next week, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Goodbye.
Bye.
Ciao.
www.outoflives.net